Hey guys, welcome to another 3DVista tutorial. My name is Ronald van der Weyden. I'm from 360 Creators, and today I'm going to do a follow-up on my previous video of creating the desktop skin, but now for mobile. And as you can notice, I've added an image to this and some other changes over here, and this is what we're going to be working towards too. So let's get into that. Alright, so here we're back to where we left off in the previous video. One of the first things I'm going to be doing over here is making the titles fat or bold, because that's, I think, a better practice for titles. Just like over there. Oh, and when you change it with the multi-line text, you need to be sure that you select everything and then you make it bold, like this. Okay, so now we have those bolts. The same we're going to do with the buy button. Let's go over here, move this over there, make this bold. Okay, now the other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to replace this image so that we actually can see. And so here we are. And what would be, well, something we can play around with is to have this image, yeah, I'll put myself now over there, to have this all the way. So you can put this like a fit inside like it is right now, but I would like to show a little bit more of the possibilities with this. Now what I would really like to have is to have these edges rounded as well. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that in 3DVista, even with the container having it to hidden. It's a bit strange, but for that reason we need to make sure that we're going to have this smaller. And so in the left side, or in this wrapper actually, we have the radius set to 40 pixels. So that's something, a number to keep in mind. So we're going over here, left, and we are going to say the top. Let's put this to 20. Yes, and the left as well, 20 pixels. Okay, so that kind of fits, and then we do the same with the bottom. This 20. We don't need to do the right side, that's still in there. For the right side I would prefer to move this more to the right if we would want to do that. So okay, we've done that now. Now in order for this image to show everything, also the feet and stuff, we might want to move this a little bit more to the left like this. But yeah, that's something you got to see that for different images. So we got this now set, we got the fonts fat and everything, and now it's time to go for the mobile skin. So let's go, start over here, we take everything, and as you can see now this is not looking so good, and that's what we're going to fix. We have right now a container left and a container right. I've been trying to think, maybe it makes sense to do a top and a bottom, and to put in the things in there. But as I went through this and designed this previously, I figured that it makes more sense to actually take everything out of the left and the right and just put it inside the wrapper. Because with the mobile skin you're going to use scrollers much more than in the desktop skin. So let's do that right now. So we have the product image, the title. I like to put the title above the image. So title, yeah, we have the multi-line as well, but I'm going to disable this for now. The product description is going to come after the image, and then we have the product button that comes after the description. Oh, yeah, okay. Now I'm going to remove left and I'm going to remove right. I'm going to remove the multi-line in this case as well. I want to focus on these now. So how this is going to look is that right now we have everything set in the layout to absolute of the wrapper, which is good. So this title needs to be at least 100%. This image more or less around here. I'm going to do this very roughly now, and then later I'm going to fine tune everything. Something like this, and then the button is going to be bigger and it's going to be around there. Well, actually over there. And then we have okay, so we have these things now, and we have the amount of space around. So on the mobile screens, the space usually is pretty scarce, so it's better to use as much as possible from the screens and stuff. And for that reason, I'm going to minimize the amount of black in this. So at least, let's see, the wrapper is going to have a little bit less from the top. More like this, and the bottom as well. And the left and right, I'm going for 4 and 2. Now if you really want to have the exact same amount here as and over there, then I suggest to put everything on pixels. In this case it's almost the same. For now I'm going to keep this in percentages, but yeah. We've got this close button right now, which is showing on the black. I prefer to have that actually more in the white now. So I need to see this wrapper is from the top right, now 2% from the top and 4% from the right. So I'm selecting the close wrapper. I'm going to put this, no, the other way around, 4 and 2%. Yes, like this. Okay, so this is now set correctly. And this close button right now is pretty small for mobile screens, so I'm going to increase that a little bit. Let's make this double the size, 80, 80, 40, 40. And now I'm going to move over to this label. Something to avoid is to have the title on top or beneath the close button. So for that reason, we either gotta cut this part or we gotta cut it from the top. I think it's going to make more sense to cut it from the top, to just have this empty over here. But those are decisions you can make for yourself, of course. But I'm going to stick with this for now. So from the top, I'm going to play around. Oh, 6% maybe. Put this now to the top. Let's resize this a little bit. But this text needs to be much larger. So let's put this to 5%, maybe even 6%. 6 could be overkill, maybe 5.5. I'll stick to 5 for now. Something like this. And right now, this amount of space is quite a lot. So this is going to be around 6%. So right now, 6, maybe 5. 5 is good enough. 4 could be working as well. Okay, 4%. So now this is 6%, 4%, so together that's 10%. So this image can be 10% from the top. So now these blue lines are exactly on top of each other. This one and this one, which is great. Let's move this a little bit more to the right side. So we're going to use some padding. Let's say 10. Also, if it comes from the right side, from the top it doesn't need it, and from the bottom I don't know, not sure. I think I'm gonna keep this 0 now. The product image, this is now top 10%, and the height is now like 30%. I think this is good. So this means 10% plus 30% is 40%, so this text field is going to be 40% from the top. And now this blue line is exactly on this blue line, which is amazing. Let's make this text larger, and let's just increase the amount of text here so that we're gonna have a scroller. So right now we can see we have a scroller, and on mobile it doesn't really matter so much to have these scrollers. On desktop I feel a little bit more like but on mobile it feels pretty good actually. So now we have this. What we somehow see happening now is that we have the scroller on the bottom as well. Usually that happens when one of the elements within the wrapper, in this case, is larger than 100%, or that somehow there's somewhere too much space, and in this case in the horizontal space, in the width. So let's see, this is 100%, this is 100%, 100%, 113%. So for some reason, this one I cannot really understand, but to remove this scroller, what we're going to do is the fitting, we're going to say hidden, and now we don't see this anymore. So that's great. Let's get back to this product description. So we're going to have a little bit more space on the left and on the right, and especially the text is not going to be on top of the scroller like here. This is a no-go. By the way, you can change the attributes of the scroller, I believe, in edit styles. Right over here. If you like a more smaller scroller, you can do that. I think this is fine. Maybe the color, to make that a little bit more subtle. Maybe more something like this. And a fixed thing like this. Yes, like that. Okay, so let's add the padding. Let's do something like 20. Okay, that's quite a lot. We did 10 at the title as well, so let's stick to that. 10. 10 is larger than 8, so it's never going to go over the scroller, which is good. Okay, now we might want to do some padding from the top as well. 10. And from the bottom, I'm not going to do that, and I'll explain a little bit later why. Let's move over to the buy button and remove all these max things. I'm just going to add 10,000 and 10,000. And the width, this is going to be 100%. Now it says 100% with a minus value, so that's why it's acting a little bit weird. So we're going to put this to 0. And what we have over here is we have rounded edges, and this is rounded edges, and the buy button has rounded edges, which are different. It's not so easy to spot, maybe, but let's see. This was 40 pixels, so we're going to make this also 40 pixels. Okay, I think it's not taking the 40 pixels because it needs more height. Let's try that. Yes. Okay, that just doesn't have enough space to do that. Okay, so this one is pretty difficult to do really precisely. So this is a little bit guessing. But I think it's pretty okay like this with the rounded edges. Yeah, it would be nice to have no round edge over here on the top and on the right, and only on the bottom, left and right. But that's limitation in 3DVista. So let's see. We got this buy button now. Let's make this text a little bit bigger. More like 4%, 3.5 maybe. Okay. So we got this on 3.5. Then we have the description. So for some reason, yes, let's put this back to 100. We got here 6.5%. We can try 7. No, that's not gonna do it. Okay, 6.5. So you could say now, okay, calculating what this number is going to be, but for this case I will say, okay, make it either 40% from the top or 6.5 from the bottom. But using this, let's add a little bit more text. Copy, paste. Okay. The thing is, when now here we have about 10 pixels padding, but when we start scrolling and we use 10 over here and we start doing this, okay, when you actually see this on the mobile, you will see that it's going to overrule this 10 pixels thing. For that reason, I'm going to keep this at 0, and I'm going to increase a little bit the percentage on the bottom, so something more like 7, 7.5, maybe 8%. Because I still like to have a little bit of this kind of padding, which I'm creating this way now. Okay, so we got the title now, which is fat. Let's see what the color is of this one. Yeah, I use here black, but I prefer to have for titles a little bit softer black, so something like 444, 444, like this. Maybe a little bit darker than this. That's something you can play around with, but not black. It's a bit hard on the eyes to do that kind of stuff. Let's just double check that we have that over here as well. Nope, we don't. So let's change that 444, 444. Okay. And here as well. 444, 444. Okay. So now we have the title, we have the image, we have the text, we have the buy button. Now you can preview it, which is definitely something good to do and play around with. But the best way to test this is really just take your phone and get it on a URL address, host it somewhere, and view it on your actual device, because seeing it on your big screen, it feels completely different than really on your phone. So right now we're doing this, but in the background what I've did before is just checking the phone. Okay, this is how it looks like. So let's see. Okay, with the edges, that's painful. We could say the safe option would be to remove the rounded corners just at all. The challenge option would be to fix this. Right now I'm going for the safe option, otherwise this video might become very long. So right now I'm just going to remove the radius and just keep it like this. I do want to make sure that this pixel is not going to show up, and here as well, and here as well. I'm going to double check all the settings. Let's just remove this padding just in case. I don't think it matters so much. Nope. I'm going to say left and right. I don't know if it really makes that much sense. Yeah. And then preview this again. Okay, well, it looks much better this way. We can scroll like this. We have the image and we have the close button to close this again. Yeah, now what we can do is we can start looking on different screens if it still looks good. So let's change this. Okay, that's still good. Let's put this to an iPhone XR. Still good. iPhone Pro, yes, good. Pixel, yes. Pretty good. Okay, so on this one, the title is getting pretty close to the image on an iPad Air. Let's just look a little bit more into that. Okay. Actually, it might use a little bit more from the top in this case. Let's put this on 5%. Just increase this with 1% as well. And publish this. Refresh. And okay, this looks better. Let's look back on this. If it still looks good. Yes. Yes, pretty good. Good. Okay. Yeah, Nest Hub. Now we're talking about instead of a portrait mode, a landscape mode. But I'm going to show something else for that. Because with landscape, this is going to overcomplicate everything quite a lot. So what I prefer doing, by default 3DVista has landscape mode on mobile set to mobile, which means that right now you can turn this around like so, and when you go to the desktop skin, when you look over here, you only have those 4 options. But at the moment we're going to change this. You'll see that it applies this skin to the landscape mode. So right now we have all these mobiles over here, and on mobile we cannot rotate this anymore, and that's all because of this setting. So we can set this back and it's there. So I prefer to have this set to general, and then just on the general skin check on the phones like this, see if it still makes sense, because it makes much more sense to design landscape or portrait than desktop, which is usually landscape, and then mobile with landscape and portrait, and that in one skin. In 3DVista, that is pretty much a nightmare. So I would strongly not recommend that and go for this method. And then over here you can see that the buy button in this case is pretty small on a Galaxy Tab. So yeah, maybe increase the minimum size over here. I don't know if this is going to make sense so quickly. 120, 60. Let's just, yeah, oh yeah, this one is a bit strange because there's these 2 ones over here, which is a monitor set like this, and it's a very, very, very specific use case to have your monitor turned like this. So I would just ignore that one. This is stuff to go for, yes. Let's see, over here, this one, and this is all looking pretty good. So yeah, I can put this back. Now we have the general skin, we have the mobile skin, and now the question is, okay, but Ronald, you've designed this whole thing. How are you going to do this for 10 products, 20 products, 100 products? Are you just going to duplicate all these things in the skin? Well, the nice answer is no. We're going to keep everything in the next video to have it with one skin, one design over here and one design over here. And we're going to attach data to all these elements. So we're going to attach data to this image, to this title, to this title, to this description. We can attach data to the text of this buy button. So either buy or out of stock. We can start changing the link of the buy button. Say this needs to go to product 1, this needs to go to product 2. And we can even change colors of things, the attributes. So we can change the color of this buy button based on certain variables. We can change the color of this font. We can even change the font based on data. And that is all going to be explained in the next video. Be aware, it is a paid product. This has been developed for more than half a year together with Blaze IT. So yeah, this is something we're super excited about to share this with you guys. Yeah, well, this was it. I hope this video has been very helpful and that you learn how to deal with 3DVista. And yeah, well, see you in the next video. All right, have a good day. Bye bye.